Hey guys, what's good, what's happening, and what's going on? It's currently noisy in the lab. It's Friday, working from home, still waiting for work. I have nothing assigned to me, so Christmas time. Every year, I tell you, it just dies. Everybody goes on vacation. It's like they save their vacation up just for this time so they don't have to work during Christmas. They get their shopping done, get their groceries ready, get all the baking done, all that fun stuff. However, playing VR, as you saw in the previous video, is kind of taxing because I don't have much space in this room. So I've been doing some cleaning, if you will. Problem is, I got all these weapons over here. Some old sticks that are still good for training, and some other sticks that are definitely not good for training. These are Bollywood. It's a real good hardwood. I can't use these because they'll destroy the rattan sticks. Now in martial arts, this is essentially what we use, are these sticks. Somebody was asking me to make a video about martial arts. I can't film in the studio. And if you're wondering why they look all crusty, it's because I covered them in hockey tape to prolong the sticks. Usually a set of sticks will last you around 4 to 6 months, depending on how hard you're striking. So I basically covered mine in this second skin just to prolong the wood so I can get more than 6 months out of them. And I printed our logo, the tsunami, on the back. So pretty cool. Well, what I want to do is I want to start hanging these up. So you probably hear the 3D printer going behind me because it's printing something up. I've already printed up a hanger for my tomahawk, so it's mounted to the wall. However, I need to figure out something to hang the machete. And I'm thinking just building like a hook to go through the belt hook and just hang it off the wall like that and get that off the ground. So the 3D printer is currently working like mock chicken. I should also get this knife off the ground and put it somewhere too. For now, I'm just gonna sit it on the windowsill here. Why not? Got some battery packs here. My trainer knife, which I 3D printed, wrapped the handle in paracord. Flashlight, reusable coffee cup, whatever. So I'm printing off some stick mounts to mount to the wall so I can get those sticks off the ground. Probably gonna hang them up in here somewhere, not sure where. And these here are lightsabers that I bought off of Temu, which are the same length roughly as the sticks we use, which is 28. The sticks are 28 inches in case you're wondering. So this is about maybe 29 inches long from the handle. And yeah, they do light up. And you can change the color. And when you hit stuff, they make effects. And yes, I have used the sticks in Cinewalis. We did a low light Cinewali thing, so that was kind of fun. And we used the lightsabers. Coach has like 3 pairs, so 6 lightsabers. And we've done a little Star Wars tappy Cinewali with it, which is basically you swing, boom, you go through and then at, through and then at. And it's a Cinewali that's commonly used in movies. When they're doing sword fighting, they just get different angles and it looks cool. But that's what I'm doing right now, is trying to clean up this area over here. Another thing I was thinking about doing was deleting this floor lamp. Right now, I'm lighting the room with the studio, with the gamer lights when I have the green screen on. Don't really need them on, but I just wanted to, I was playing with a green screen idea I have back here. This one, not this one here, this is the one I do comment in the comments, but this one here. It goes on the back. Problem is the material's like a satin finish and it reflects light and it picks up shadows big time. What I need is one like that for the back of the chair, but made out of that felt material the good green screen's made out of, so that it doesn't pick up shadows and it doesn't bounce light back and change its color tones. Because that one on the back of the chair is a bitch to chroma key and OBS. So I just don't bother. You're probably saying, but Adam, you said you don't have a webcam. Well, I got it working. I found out what the problem was. And the problem was me. That C920 camera, that one right there by Logitech, requires the Logi software so that you can tune it and things. Without it, the camera wasn't being detected. So I got it working so I can have face cam on stream again, but I really wanted a green screen behind me so it's like it wasn't just me in a mess. Because honestly, I'd be sitting here and this is behind me. Not exactly awesome, right? Something else I've been contemplating since getting more into VR is more space up here, which is the reason why I've been clearing off this area down here, because before I had the old 3D printer down here and a bunch of weapons and stuff, still have the weapons, but I want to get that all cleared up to give me more floor space And I was thinking about, instead of having the desk, that angled desk back there, I was contemplating on scrapping that idea and putting a long desk along the back wall. And that way there, I could have my gaming computer on the back wall, 3D printer, everything else that I need, my totes and all that. I can even put the totes underneath the desk, save desktop space for like laptops or computers or more 3D printers or whatever. And then that would give me a whole bunch more space to walk around. And I was going to delete this white desk here, or I just use this white desk and put it on the back wall, resurface it, because that material I used picked up a lot of moisture and kind of failed. Either spread these 3 desks out more and put a longer tabletop to go along the back wall, and that way there would give me a whole bunch of space in the back wall, but all of this floor space to play with, which is all cluttered and shit, which is another thing I need to do, is clean up. I also want to bag up some old clothing that no longer fits me because I'm not 340 pounds, and drop it off somewhere for donations like, I don't know, Rebuilt or Salvation Army. Definitely not Value Village, because they charge retail prices for clothing, and that place is supposed to be for people who are struggling. It is not a non-for-profit, so I would drop it off at a non-for-profit and we'd be good. So yeah, right now I'm printing a stick holder that I custom built in Tinker. It's the Modern Arnis symbol on a circle plate, and it's going to have a spot in each of the 1, 5, 6, and 8 corners. So all the diagonal corners to basically sit a stick on. So I'm printing that off right now, and then once it's done, I'll show you guys. Is that on there? That's not on there. Try and give myself some more space, because I wish I knew VR was this fun to begin with, guys. Holy shit, it is so much fun. Way too awesome. Alrighty guys, we got it done. I wish I had different color filament, like some red. I would have stopped it on the black when I did the black base, and then printed the rest in red, and it would have looked really cool, but it holds my Bali sticks perfectly fine, and I think it looks pretty dope. I do say so myself. This thing's firing up because I'm printing off some generic stick holders now. Just some generic ones to put the rest of the sticks up, so that I can get them off the floor. But I still got to figure out a way how to mount that machete to the wall. Alrighty, so I printed off a smaller version here, and I put my other set of sticks on it. And I'm going to print on, well, right now it's printing another one. And I'm going to put those sticks either down below or up top. I don't know. I don't know if it'll fit up top because it might hit the ceiling. It'll definitely hit the ceiling. So I'm probably going to run them down here, and then, yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do with the lightsabers. I do kind of want them on the wall as well. So like I said, a lot of people were, well, not a lot of people, somebody asked me in the comments to film martial arts. And the problem is I can't. The environment we work out of is pretty small. I can't really set up a tripod in there to record it. And usually Coach is catching clips for the TikTok and the other social media for the website to try and draw in more people interested, because he's opening up another Monday, Wednesday, I think he said Monday, Wednesday, or Monday, Friday, I can't remember, session. See, for Tuesdays we do the sticks, which a lot of people are like, oh, you fight with sticks, that's kind of dumb. Well, those sticks represent this, the machete, okay? Sure, back in the early 1900s, when the Filipinos were basically warding off the occupation by the Spaniards, because that's what happened. Spain basically occupied the Philippines, and they needed a way to defend themselves. They came up with the technique Modern Arnis, basically adopting a bunch of principles from other martial arts to make their own, and one of them was the Brazilian art of stick fighting that they adopted in and turned into their own. Now, the original version of Arnis was designed by peasants for peasants. Basically, if the military couldn't hold their own, the people training in this art would step in and provide assistance. That was the whole deal behind it. Then later on, the art kind of faded, and then the Pracis brothers got together and started bringing it back. So I take Modern Arnis, or Pracis Arnis, sorry. And that is a combination of single stick, or solo baston, duo baston, which is the 2 sticks, and then sword and daga, which is stick and dagger, or espada el daga, which is sword and dagger, sorry, espada. Sword and dagger is literally your machete, and balisong, you know those. I got a trainer here. Kids get fidget spinners. I got a trainer. So basically, This goes in your offhand, machete in your main hand, and then you basically fight. Like I said, it's a trainer. It's not sharp. You can't sharpen it. That's why they perforate it like that, to make it impossible to sharpen. But they're fun to flick around. It's a good, when I'm working from home and I need to think about something, usually I'll be caught with one of these flicking around. Can't do that at work. It freak people out. But when you're working from home, you can just basically have all the fun you want, right? Just party with it. But mind you, we tend to not train with the balisong. We train with like rubber knives, and I 3D printed up a bunch of these kind so that people who couldn't afford to buy a trainer, there was some sitting there that we could just pick up and go and practice our knife drills, stuff like that. Yeah, all in all, pretty fun martial art. Like I said, it was built for fending off the Spaniards, and it got to the point where Spain was like, we're done with the Philippines, they're nuts. And they told the US, if you want them, go ahead and have them. And the US military had a problem dealing with them too, because these guys were crazy. They would just come out of the woodworks with their rattan sticks and their balisongs and just gank military troops that were armed with rifles. And they were like, you know what, screw it, we're leaving them alone. And then basically they got their country back. Now there's a good trade relation, not trade relations, but a good relations with the US and Canada and the Philippines, you know, enough occupying other people's territories. You know, a certain guy who needs to figure that one out. But anyway, I digress. But yeah, it's definitely different. Like when I started this back in March 2022, 2023. Yeah, March 2023. I was like, just finished breaking up with my ex in February. Took some time to adapt. You know how it is when you, after a breakup, you're kind of, well, you know, you fix yourself up. You do what you got to do to get yourself back on track. And then I was like, oh, I'd really like to start a martial art. So I was looking around town, and I knew I wasn't flexible enough for jiu-jitsu. So I had no interest in that. I tried some kickboxing in the past, but a lot of the kickboxing around town, it's what's called kick fit. So what that is you do something like you do a burpee, get up, jab, cross. Burpee, get up, jab, cross, you know? Like it's not really self-defense oriented. Why'd the printer stop? Am I finally out of filament? I'm finally out of filament. Cool. Just gonna swap that over and I'll get back on this topic. Anyway, before I was so rudely interrupted by my 3D printer here, I'm just waiting for it to extrude some poop. Can it extrude? Oh yeah, it's extruding. Okay. I'm basically burning through a bunch of old filament that I had that I didn't see. The ender wasn't as good when it ran out of filament. You couldn't just stop and restart it. It would just carry on. Where this Creality, when it runs out, you can just replace your spool and go. So it's a little bit better. But anyway, like I was saying, so I tried for some kickboxing in town. It was no bueno. It was boring. It wasn't fighting. There wasn't many options. I didn't want to get back into karate because I find the karate classes in town, they focus more on katas than they do actual self-defense. So I was like, no, that doesn't interest me. And then a friend, I worked with my coach before when I used to work at Onterra. He worked on the programming side of things, system developers. So I knew of him, and I knew he was a martial artist, but I didn't know what martial artist. So one night I just kind of reached out to him and said, hey, I know you're a martial artist, but do you train? Do you run a school in town? And he said, yes, I do. He goes, I run a Modern Arnis class every Tuesday, Thursday. And I said, what the heck is Modern Arnis? Like, I've never heard of this. And he's like, it's Filipino martial arts. And I'm like, I looked it up and went, oh, it's like weapons and stuff. He goes, well, there's weapons. There's a hand-to-hand aspect to it. And there's a BJJ grappling style as well called Dumog. And I was like, okay. So I asked him how much he charged. He told me, and I said, all right. And he goes, your first class is free. He goes, come out on a Tuesday or Thursday. Go on the website and book your first class. Come on out. Give it a try. Well, the first night I got there, I had so much fun. Learned so many new things. And I was hooked since. If you have Modern Arnis in your town and they offer a one-class pass, go give it a try. I'm telling you. Because, so I went to that conference down south, right? And I met buddy before at the conference in Sudbury, but then we got talking about like AI technology and cryptocurrencies and all that stuff. And it turns out he's actually in London, London, Ontario. And he trains Modern Arnis there on Wonderland Road. And I've probably driven by his freaking compound a few times this summer while Bloke and I were hunting for freaking places to fish. Because I looked it up, and right beside where he is runs the Thames. And I'm pretty sure Bloke and I were there, and it's on video when we were at the fork of the Thames, because it was pretty much near there where it was. So that's pretty cool. He told me, he's like, because I mentioned in my previous video that I was thinking about moving to London. And I told him that too. I said, you know, I've honestly been considering moving to London a lot, because it's a nice place. It has everything, literally. Like, Bloke will go on friggin' Amazon at like 7 p.m., put it in an order, and the next day it's at his door because they have a distribution center right there. So that's pretty cool. Theoretically, I could get a transfer, which just means my home office changes and I keep the same job. But, you know, the only thing that puts me off of that is the traffic. But after talking to him about it, he's like, yeah, and he goes, then you can join my school and learn Kempo and Modern Arnis if you want, because he trains Kempo. I don't know what the heck Kempo is, but they talked about a lot of Kempo at the Cambridge and the Sudbury school, so it must be some really good martial art, because they all really like it. So yeah, that's the reason why I got into Modern Arnis, was because I reached out to a friend, turned out he trained it, got on board with his class, and I'm hooked. I love it. The fact that it's like, because it was a martial art developed for peasants, by peasants, it uses peasant weaponry, if you think about it. Like the rattan sticks, the bali sticks, those are all woods that grow in the Philippines in abundance. So you can just find rattan, cut it to 26 inches, you have your weapon, you know? Because they use the machete to cut the rattan, to tend to different things. It's a tool. The tomahawk can also be a claw hammer. That's literally what they use. They would grab a hammer and just come at you with the tomahawk techniques, or they would have a tomahawk. You never know, you know, like it becomes such a versatile, take a household item and use it as a weapon. Like, I may have shown this tomahawk that I printed a while ago. Well, it's more of a hammer minus the claw on the back, but it's more of a hammer, and literally that's all the tomahawk is. Anything you can do with a tomahawk, you can do with a hammer, except for sink into your opponent with the blade. Instead, you just give him a crushing blow. But yeah, that's the reason why I got into Modern Arnis. I wish I could bring my camera in there and set it up, but not everybody wants to be on video. Hence the reason why, if I'm going to film in a store, I make sure nobody's around to see me, because I don't need some Karen freaking out because I'm recording. I don't need that drama in my life. Some people might like it. I am not one of those people. But anyway, let that print off, and then we'll hang that one up, and we'll see how that one looks. Alrighty guys, a little bit of an update for you. So I moved the tomahawk over here. We got, well, 3 pairs of sticks and the lightsabers. I didn't account for the fact that the handles in the lightsabers are a lot heavier than the lightsabers themselves. Luckily, with the way I got the mounts on the wall, they kind of like hit with the stick above them and balance somewhat. So we're just gonna go with that. So yeah, I made these basic mounts for the sticks. This is like the Datu Tim Hartman's logo for Modern Arnis, with the sword and the shield and the 8 angles of attack. And I printed off another tomahawk holder. As you can see, it has my logo in the middle, which is kind of masked, but whatever. And it holds the tomahawk perfectly. Right now I'm printing up a machete holder that I custom built in Tinkercad. We'll see how that turns out, but we're coming along nicely. Gonna have a wall of deadly shit. Alrighty guys, the wall of weapons is up. The wall of weapons. Nice. Very, very nice. Got all my sticks, my lightsabers, my machete, my axe. Still want to build something for my my knife, but you know, some people hang posters. I hang weapons. It is the way. You know, there's a problem. You probably noticed a couple clips on this video where the audio just cuts out. One thing I've noticed, even with the old Samsung, when filming with a cell phone, for some reason, I hit stop, the video collects a bit more. So when I'm trimming the video in Sony Vegas or Magix Vegas, it's doing this weird thing where it's kind of adding extra video but no audio. And I don't know if other people have this problem or if maybe it's just because I'm importing into Vegas. I don't know, but it's very freaking weird. But anyway, guys, that's going to end it for today. So if you have any questions about Modern Arnis, go ahead and ask me. If you have any questions about why I hung weapons on my wall, you should know better because I love weapons. Yeah, just going to leave it at that for now. So thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Did like button, questions, comments, concerns down below they go. And until next time, guys, live it to win it. Peace the frig out. Sit, stupid, sit. Good dog.